Oh, I'm not looking at that camera. I'm looking at that camera. We need help today. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Inspired. And I'm here. I always tell you guys who I'm here with because I don't know if they're just listening. If they're just listening, they need to know that I got friends here. Brisa, myself, Tanya, and Sasha. We want to talk a little bit today about our journey to, so we opened Miss Amber Red 3 years ago, but now we want to discuss our journey into basically the online world. I don't want to just say like online marketing, but basically the online world. So what does that mean exactly? I don't know, Sasha, was it like 2 years ago that we decided to do Inspired?
Doing online classes. Yeah, I would say about. It's going on that.
January. Or would that be 1 year? I'm so bad with time. I don't know if it's been 1 year or 2 years. Maybe it's been 1 year in January.
I would say going on 2 years.
It's going on 2.
Is
going
it?
On 2? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So where we decided, it was a journey, you guys. So I've always created, don't look at my fingernails. I've always created like online courses. So this like not new in that sense. I think I am up to six online courses now or something.
Yep.
Anyways, so I have 2 on another platform, and then we decided to then start our own thing. So that was fun. But we hired initially somebody to build out a web page or a whole entire website for us. And I'm pretty open with talking about money and stuff, so I'll just tell you guys how much it costs. I don't give a shit. He charged $8,000 to build out this website for us. But we did that. We chose that route because obviously we're not experts within that space. So we hired him. He did it. The functionality of the site was there. Mm-hmm. However, sorry, Mark. When you find website creators, builders, or whatever they are, they're not like visually there. What that means is basically every single page that he created, Sasha and I had to go back in and redesign every single page. It is finally to where like I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
It looks pretty. So we also have another website. So we have 2 websites that we're running. So we have Miss Amber Red, and then we have Inspired by Miss Amber Red. The Inspired site is where we host all of like the online courses. I'm gonna throw you under the bus, Sasha. She's working on a
oh my gosh
Canva slash like I don't know. Is it just gonna be Canva or
probably? Yeah.
So anyway, she's working on, I'm a big advocate for creating something for yourself online, because whether it sells all the time, you're always going to have, like, nobody can take that away from you. So you're always going to have something that's going to be making you a little bit of money. And all these girls know that. I'm always like, Brisa, what are you going to do? Tanya, what are you going to do? So Tanya also, we pulled her in. So she has her own little page on there for design help. She creates, what are they called again? The
brand guides.
Brand guides. Yeah, like brand guides. So she helps create branding for, if you don't have a logo, if you don't have business cards, if you don't have a look, if you don't have your fonts, you don't have your colors, all that sort of stuff. Tanya helps create that stuff. And Brisa as well, she helped us very early on. Tanya and Brisa helped early on creating like the overall look that you guys see that Miss Amber Red and Inspired has grown into today. With that said, I just talked a whole lot. So once we got past that initial website build, I'm going to bring Sasha into this conversation, because then Sasha kind of hopped on and helped, create
email stuff.
Yeah, create like emails. I've been in the industry like almost 10 years now. I've never done email marketing, so I didn't even know what the heck that looked like. We hired and I'm a big, like, if you don't know what you're doing, then hire somebody to help you figure it out, right? So at least you get a game plan and you're moving in the right direction. I just think it saves you a lot of time rather than trying to figure everything out from the ground up. So we got a virtual assistant, and her name was Jody. So she basically helped give us the,
I like to call the blueprint, the foundation.
Like the blueprint for email marketing. For our first few campaigns or sequences, she helped develop those. And I'm going to let Sasha tell you what that stuff means, because I don't know.
She basically just helped us come up with a plan on how to get people to sign up and have interest in our class. So I basically took what she taught me and have applied it to the rest of our courses and tweaked it along the way, according to the course. And honestly, just been a learning experience with the email marketing.
And I think too, like, even though so it's like you hire somebody, but you're still gonna have to put work into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
But so you hire somebody and it's like, okay, that's great. They're gonna give you the foundation or the layout, but then you still have to put your words and personality into it. Because a lot of times she would write us, she gave us a timeline basically, like this email needs to go out at 10. There needs to be an email that goes out at 4. Then, it goes out 3 times a week. So she gave us like a timeline, but on top of that, you have to have, what is it called? The writing part of it. Copyright.
Yeah.
So you have to have the copyright that follows up. And obviously when somebody else writes it for you, it doesn't sound like you. So you have to go back in and it's like, okay, so she's now discussing like, hurry up, sell in soon, for example, like say it's coming to the close end of your sequence. And she's like, now you need to say something like this. So then you have to do all the writing behind it. So now we are to a point where we have, if you go to Miss Amber Red's site, Sasha and I, she's the brains behind it, but I'm the writing behind it. So it's basically an email sequence that runs. I think we created that ourselves at this point. So we developed from what she gave us to what we kind of thought or saw along the way, because obviously when you're working online, you have the statistics on the back end that tell you if something's working or if something's not working. Mm-hmm. So along the way, the whole last 2 years, we've kind of been tracking, looking at numbers, seeing what's been working and what's not been working. God, we sound smart right now. No. Anyways,
well, we've learned a lot. So
we've learned a lot over the last couple of years. So so we have, you go to Miss Amber Red's site, if you guys want to take a look at it, it's actually kind of cool. We have now a form that we just connected recently. I know we're getting a late start to at what is called Active Campaign. But before we start talking about Active Campaign, because I'm going to throw that over to Sasha, the form itself has a section where whoever visits the website can select client or they can select artist. So what that's going to do is it's a trigger that throws them into a sequence, whether they are an artist or a client. And then I have it to where now I'm blanking because it's been so long. Is it two emails? One email a week?
It's one email every 3 days.
One email every 3 days, and it lasts for 30 days.
Yeah.
So what that means is basically, so let's, because I do actually remember what I wrote in those. They were a lot of work. But basically for the client one, for instance, by the time they get to us and to the point that they're going to be booking, obviously the very last email they're going to receive is going to give them an incentive to book. But leading up to that point, throughout, you guys should go join this, because this is literally like how we said we paid for a game plan. This could be a game plan for you if you go to the website and look at this. Mm-hmm. Join one of the sequences and you'll see what I'm talking about, because what will happen is you'll get an email. For instance, for the client example, it's going to walk them through a process of what permanent makeup actually is. It's going to describe to them what brow styles we offer. Mm-hmm. It's going to give them our point of view as to like what we think is best for their skin type. So by the time they get to us to book, they are going to be above and beyond knowledgeable on what we feel their best technique is for their skin type. But it goes over more things than just that. But just for an example, for the bit, I think that's the first email. It says like, welcome, thank you for joining Miss Amber Red, like da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see how it plays out over the next 4 weeks. So it's really cool.
So I have a question. This is for you, Amber. When we're starting to go onto the online world, what do you think was like the most important thing, like the very first step you needed to take to make that transition into that? Because I know we're kind of talking about like website stuff and all that, but like, how did you get to that point to where we're doing email marketing and all that? What was the first steps for you?
My first thought it kind of goes back to, this is probably not going to answer your question, but kind of, my first thought is, if like, say we have 0 clients coming into the studio, I'm a person that feels like there's always money to be made. Mm-hmm. Like, figure it out. There's not an excuse to not be making money. Figure it out. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be building branding kits for somebody. You could be having an online course that you're selling for $19. Mm-hmm. We're about to put our forms on the website to bring in more money. Like, there's always a space to make money. You just have to figure out how to do so. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when it is slower, those are the prime times to be building, and that is what has pushed me into more online. So anytime if it's slow, that's your time to build, that's your time to kick ass, get things ready to go, drop those things, because there's somebody will buy something for $19, somebody will buy something for $59, somebody will buy something for $600. There's a market for everything. It's just learning to pivot and know and recognizing when those times are slower, and using them to your benefit, I guess.
Putting that energy during those slow times into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like first it's like your brain started going like with the courses, and you're like, okay, courses, copyright is written. Okay, now who's going to film these for us? Okay, now take that step. Now what platform are these going to go on? Now what does our platform look like for us? And then what's the marketing behind that? So I feel like those are like a pretty good step of how we got
write
to
that
where
down,
we
guys.
are.
Write that down, because I don't even my brain just naturally sees what the next step is.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to like slow down and see the like what the step by step.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what'd you just say?
Like first
Website.
it was you already knew the courses you wanted to do, so you started writing the courses, and then we were like, okay, now we need someone to film these, so we filmed them. Now where are we going to host them on? What platform? Who's going to build our website? Got that done. Now we threw the courses in there, and then now we're to like email marketing, and now we can do like the logistics of it and stuff like that behind it.
Yeah.
So I feel like those are like a pretty good like guide
And there's
to
some
get
things,
you to the online world.
Recently I just started helping my brother build a website, but there's some things that are helping me in that, because I know like what we've done with ours. Like for instance, like it is. So if it is a slower time, because my brother like is in a slower time, like, you know, so he's like trying to, well, I don't have money to do these ads. So, okay, use Facebook to your benefit, get a business page. He has now the website, attach that website to the business page. And I personally think recently what I've noticed is like ads aren't doing shit. Sorry, don't waste your money. I've literally dropped $400 in ads and have our phone even rang in the last week. So
we're trying everything with that.
No, yeah.
A
so,
and B
but what I
ads.
did notice, so here's the nugget there, because what happens is, so for the longest time, how long did it take me to realize, okay, Facebook ads aren't working? How do I pivot and still use that spent money to my benefit, right? So at first we were running ads, and because I do all the online ads for us. So at first I was running ads and I'm showing people my work, or we're giving them a discount for some BS something, right? Not working. It's still not working. So what do we do now? So now what I've started doing, and it's way cheaper. Write this down, because like about $30 to $60 a week versus $200. So you can promote. What I would suggest doing is promote your website. So they go to your website. You're drawing traffic to your website. When they get to the website, they're filling out that pop-up form. And now guess what we're getting? Their email address. So it's not just money being thrown out into these ads, and you're trying to get them to book through some messaging app that's not working these days. Instead, they're going to your website, they're filling out that form, and you're getting, no matter what, you're spending that money, you're still getting their email address, which is gold. Like, so now we have their email address, now we can toss them into the email marketing.
Because at first we were just doing ads with like numbers and just call us. We're out here, call us. But that is really smart to get them to the website.
And it took me, how long did it take me? 2 years to figure that out? I'm like, why the fuck did it take me so long to figure that out? But at least now we're collecting something for that money that we're spending. So that we can use that later on.
And I feel like a big part of marketing, which you talk about a lot, is trial and error. You just have trial and error. You just have to like keep figuring it out along the way.
Well, right now too on Google Ads, I don't really know much about. We're getting better at them, but it's the same thing. They'll start to dip. You go in and tweak one minor thing, they'll go right back up. I don't know if Google Ads want to be like babied. Like I said, I'm not like a professional at those yet, but working on it. But I have. It's a testing phase, because I have one strictly for Miss Amber Red, and we're dropping a fuck ton of money on them. And when I say that, each ad is at $600. So 6 times 3 is $1,800 a month on Google Ads, and we're seeing some, but we're not seeing shit for the amount of money being spent. But what I've noticed is, so I'm doing 3 different ads, and I'm kind of watching the statistics on all 3 of those ads. So I have Miss Amber Red going, I have Inspire going, and then I have a combo one, which is actually doing better than the other 2 individual ones. So I'm like, is there something to that? I don't know yet, but that's something that I've been testing.
It's almost like...
Is that my phone? What the heck is that? Oh, shit.
Intermission.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
No, you know what that is? My phone call is clogged.
If you guys want free mini courses, go to inspiredbymssamberred.com.
If I stop that, will it go off again? No. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm supposed to be somewhere right now. And I'm not going to make it. So that is what it is. So what were we talking? So anyways,
About
like Google Ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk anymore about Google Ads because I'm not a professional there yet. But it is all about like what you said, like testing something, see if it's working, and making sure. My downfall is following up with making sure that each one of those things, like I'm tweaking it, because if you don't go in, you don't have the time to tweak it, you're throwing your money away.
Yeah.
You have to be on top of it. You have to keep going back in and keep tweaking it. And if you're paying somebody, because again, we have another website, we have the Miss Amber Red website, and you pay with them alone, we're paying $400. I'm like, how much money are we spending a month on this bullshit? Anyways, we're paying $400 on SEO with the Miss Amber Red site. It's not doing shit.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's not doing anything. And it is what it is. So it's like, I feel like you've heard me. I'm like, should we pull that over into our own platform? Because, you kind of have to start playing with numbers. It's like, well, we're dropping $400 there. We can put it over here. We can upgrade the account for $1,000. We can run all the ads together in one place. We know and we can visually see how something's going. But if you hire somebody, they're going to have to do the same exact thing. Yeah. So it's just creating that time to figure it out.
Time is the most important part.
They're going to have to do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Having the time to figure it out is the most important. That's why a lot of people get hired. But these marketers, all these marketers come in, but the truth is they are just figuring it out like us.
Yeah.
So
how important do you think it is to have somebody doing the stuff in-house versus just paying out for it?
Yeah. So that's another thing with bringing, Sasha's going to want to kill me, but I just think that's where by January, I just think, and I don't care who hears this, but I think by January we need to pull Miss Amber Red into our own, because it's, you saw how long it took me to have that website, edited, and it's not their fault. It's not our fault. It's just me trying to describe to somebody, hey, that logo, like those headers aren't all even through the website. That shit drives me nuts. Yeah. Like if you are, but they're not designers, but Sasha and I could sit down and look at it and we see it in Inspired. We have it fixed in 5 minutes. But then you're trying to work with another web designer that's sometimes in another country, and it's like, the time change, the trying to explain to them that this is wrong, and that it's like that took 9 months for us to get website edits completed when Sasha and I could sit down in 5 minutes. Yeah. So very important.
Yeah, very. I think it's important to have someone that we can talk to and be there in that moment when you need it.
Yeah,
because waiting, that took way too long. But
I say I'm over here thinking it sucks because it's a lot of work on us.
But
it's like you're doing it twice.
Literally.
Because you have to go through it, then you have to write down all the changes, then you have to send it, and then
you have to make sure.
Once they send it back, and then you have to go through and make note of all the things that they didn't catch.
Yeah.
Versus you just telling somebody right next to you, hey, change this, change that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm you should probably look at it before you send out the link to your client, but I don't know. That's just me, though.
That's just the joys of working with other people we're learning.
Yeah. So if you want to pull it over, I'm ready.
You want to talk about how I got scammed?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, which one?
Which one? Okay, that sounds really bad. I have made some business mistakes and lost some money.
Yeah, scam might be the wrong word, but
I mean, she got scammed.
Okay.
But
you're talking about the product one.
The product one.
Oh, you're not even talking about that one. Okay.
It was the product. Just the very latest one where you gave them your social security and all that.
And okay, I'm not an idiot usually, but when you get busy, it's here's another thing, slow down, because online it looks like there are these services where you can pay to have something expedited. So in that case, we were trying to get a reseller certificate so we could bring retail products into the store so we could then sell them online. And so I paid for one of those services. Come to find out, the service was a scam. They took all my information. I don't know if they ever did anything with that, but I put a block with Experian, you guys. I think that's what it's called. It's $20 a month, and they can put a lock on your stuff so nobody can steal your information.
That probably really helped. Yeah.
So I think I think you get to a point in business, you probably should do that anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because there's a lot of your information just out there, and I think I probably should have done that probably 3 years ago, but it creates a block, so anytime anybody now tries to use any of my information anywhere, they can't, But
That's
another note is, let's go ahead and talk about it. The videos.
Okay, that's what I thought we were talking about.
We won't say no names, not yet, anyways. Better give me my videos, anyways. So never pay a videographer in full. Should have knew that, but been working with somebody over a year. Don't pay that videographer in full. So anyways, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Pay half,
Yeah.
and then pay the other half
Even if
after
you
you
trust
receive
them.
your content. Even though if you
yeah.
trust them, like
Don't
Brisa
ever
just
trust
said,
anybody.
don't trust anybody. Everybody's here to fuck you over, regardless what they say.
Yeah, they might be the
Feel-
nicest
yeah.
person in the world. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I
Yeah.
think sadly
Mhm.
too, you're just, no matter what you do, you're gonna get screwed over a couple times. It just happens. Like, you might be doing everything right, and they really can have you. And not then this person in particular, but even online, anything, like, you think it's the real deal, and then you get scammed. So
I'm
just
trying
get
to, it's
ready.
my mission to
Get
tell everybody how
ready
many times
for
I've been
s-
effed over, so it doesn't happen to them. That is
Yeah,
literally
I
my
mean, it's
mission.
gonna
make
happen.
a whole
It's
class.
inevitable. It is what it is.
Make a whole class about being scammed and
Yeah.
fucked over.
So just be ready to be scammed.
Especially just with this year
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
my
oh, account,
gosh.
sorry. We're like $10,000 down now. I'm so sorry about that shit.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
just know it's
gosh.
gonna happen.
That one stabs in the heart for sure. The video one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
you like, you trust people, you build a relationship with people, and it's just,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
That's the pains of going online. You gotta learn it, unfortunately.
yeah. And it takes a long time. You can't just hire your videographer, a videographer, and then just like expect it to fit. Like how many people did it take for us to find one that actually fit the vibe? It's like,
Yeah. Keep good copies of your contracts.
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
time,
Every page.
every single time.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about with marketing? I'm trying to think if there's anything.
I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we went down the rabbit hole a little bit with that. The steps of how to get there
The steps.
online.
Yeah. And then you notice, like, too, it's just as you notice things start to shift. Like, there's always little, like, you can tell. I mean, I can tell, like, looking, like, when I'm outside trying to look in at all this madness that's happening in our lives, you can see that it starts to shift. I'm like, are long online classes the way to go anymore? I don't necessarily think so, because I think
No?
people's attention spans are a lot shorter. So I think these webinars is where it's at. I
No.
think you get people join them live. You're creating connections. They want to be there with you. I
They can
just
talk
think
to you
that's
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely takes a team with all the sorts of ideas and
You
Yeah.
gotta fail a couple times.
Yeah.
a
we
couple. Girl,
Kinda feel-
I'm dying over here.
Poor Amber. She's like, "Give
I'm
me
like,
a
I
break.
quit today.
Yeah.
This is a new week that I don't feel like quitting this week, so
Okay,
it's fine.
good. Okay. Oh my gosh, now you're making me nervous sometimes. I'm like, Amber, what can I do? Let me help you.
I think that comes with having so many moving parts, though.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to not have so many moving parts, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I knew
We're
that
gonna end
episode
this
was
one.
going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And yeah, stay tuned for our next episode. And
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.
Bye guys.
Thanks forever.